Super exciting day. Finally got my wheels in. Brian's putting one of them on now, so I can see what it looks like. A mock-up, if you will. Dang, that looks good.
What do you think?
I like them.
Yeah?
They look good.
I agree. There you have it, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Project Bombshell. As you just saw, we got those fresh wheels in. Super excited about that. Been waiting for a while to get those, so big relief to have them here now. And so obviously we should kind of get focused on what we got to do today. And the main focus today is going to be getting the suspension and the rear end swapped out. And then once we've done that, we'll be able to throw the drive shaft and safety loop in place as well. I did also swap out the coolant tank. We had the black plastic one from Vortec, and the threads were a little bit stripped on the upper fitting piece. So went ahead and opted for the aluminum one so that there's no issues moving forward. Already topped off coolant. We just need to throw a little bit more transmission fluid in the car as well. But like I said, focus this video is going to be putting in the new aftermarket suspension. We got a bunch of UPR stuff, upper, lower control arms, lower control arm relocation brackets, as well as sway bar relocation brackets. Wasn't super worried about the sway bar ones, but the rear end that we ended up getting that had 331 gears in it actually had the sway bar tabs already cut. So we pretty much didn't have a choice. Gonna have to run the sway bar relocation brackets, which isn't a big deal. And then we did already swap out the upper diff bushing on the rear end. Melissa knocked that out in 15 minutes or something one night when I was doing a big job, which is kind of annoying because it definitely took me a solid few hours when I did it the first time. But you know, got a professional over here, so.
You have a good teacher.
Oh, is that what it is? So other than that, the last thing we have to do on the rear end is pull the diff cover and put the new one on, which is also still out of our hands because it's with the powder coater for the brakes. So I think we're gonna focus on the suspension to start. Then we'll get the rear end wrapped up, put that in the car, and then at that point, the car just needs brakes and wheels, which we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, as you guys can tell, we're getting really close to wrapping this thing up mechanically. We just have to get the last couple parts here, and then we'll be good to go. I did also pick up a radiator shroud cover, so in terms of cosmetics, we should have everything here as well. So that'll be kind of the focus after we get the mechanic stuff done. Solid progress, and it is definitely crunch time.
Crunch time.
Big time. I'm not stressed. Are you stressed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely a little stressed too. But them freaking headlights though, bro.
Those are so awesome.
Yeah. All right, so we got the safety loop in. It just goes above the trans bracket and then the loop up there. It's not tight yet just because I want to wait to tighten everything down until I got the drive shaft in and I know where everything sits.
I can smell it.
Huh?
I can smell it.
You can smell it?
Yeah.
All right. Means we're getting there. All right, as you guys can see, Melissa is cracking the diff bolts off. I figured I'd go ahead and let her do most of this since she's already done majority of the work on the rear end. Plus it's fun because it smells bad. So she's cracking all the bolts, and then we're gonna go across with the impact, zip them all off. And if you guys are familiar, we'll just pop the cap, let all the fluid drain out, and fun stuff.
Yeah. MD, JPB, it's only right, baby. Yeah, why you mad? I got a bag, bro.
This is all held in place with silicone right now. You can take this all the way up, but you don't want to because you want this to hold the cover in place while all the fluid drains. There you go. It's starting to get it. So once you're in there, you can kind of wedge and pop it off, and you'll see all the fluid will come out. Starting to. There you go.
Did I do more or
Nope, that's good. Just letting it drain. Alright, so that was pretty easy.
Getting the key or the, what'd you call it?
This is called a slide pin, I think, or something. I don't really know, but it slides into the middle of the diff and basically holds all the gears and everything in place, as well as the axles from going in towards the middle. So we're taking this and then the bolt that locks it in, which was right there. Use an 8mm, crack that out. We're doing that so that we can pull these axles out. And to do that, we probably should pull those rotors out. You don't have to take the rotor off, but it'd be silly not to, because it's going to be a lot of extra weight. These are trash rotors, so.
I was just going to ask if these are the ones we were using. We're not using these, right?
No, for your car, no. They got brand new ship.
Oh, okay.
So with that slide pin out, you can push the axle in, and we gotta get the C-clip off.
Is there just one of those, or is there more?
One on each side per axle.
That's what I figured. It's like that game, like Operation.
Kind of.
You'd be getting beeped a lot.
What?
You'd be getting beeped a lot.
Oh. This game's rigged. So now I should be able to pop it out, no problem.
No problem.
Slippery bastard, isn't it? Wipe these ones real good as they come out.
So what's wrong with the ones that are on there?
Nothing, these just have ARP studs.
Oh.
Here it's like, I mean, I don't know how much that is, but it's probably $120 in fucking bolts.
Oh, wow.
They're just stronger, so we're not just gonna give those away. They are side specific. To anyone out there that's like needing to do rear end stuff, don't mix them up. Let Melissa take over since I showed her how it works on the other side. So now that you've done that, we just need to rotate this a little bit so you can get access to those C-clips, what you just saw me fighting with. Now that that pin is out, you can push the axles inward. See how that one slid in?
Yeah, right there.
But now she has to just get it out with needle nose. Don't drop it in the pan, because it's going to be fun to fish out.
The first one I got out so fast. I was like, man.
That's the easy side you started on.
Aha.
There you go. Put it in the...
Yes.
Alright, so now we just have to pull the axles out, which is what you saw was pretty easy. So just grab the dirty towel and use that on the axle, because as you pull it out, there's going to be lots of fluid on it. And just pick it up and pull it out. There you go. Pick the axle up. There you go. Good job. So at this point, I'm taking back over. We're going to swap the bearings and the seals on her rear end, just so that it's all fresh and brand new, and that we know that, you know, there's no used parts in this thing outside of like the differential and the gears, because those are pretty solid.
Fresh.
So the way that these work, you can try and use a seal puller, but usually it just tears this seal. So the way that they're kind of set is that they crush in. So they have this little lip over the edge. So I usually just take a flathead and see how it kind of lifted that up a little bit, and work my way around to break the seal free. And kind of like lift up and stuff.
Hopefully this one comes off a little easier.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to fight just as much.
Yeah.
They're not exactly easy to get. And I try to work around it in a circular motion so we don't ever push one side too much. And also continue to encourage it from the back side. Like that. Actually, shit.
Oh.
Okay, yep. And then to get this bearing out, we've got our slide hammer, and then this is an axle bearing puller. Basically, you slide it that way.
I see what you mean.
So yeah, and then once it's in, it kind of like folds back down, and then you run that washer up with the nut to keep it snug for smacking it out. What's that? So we're just taking a second and cleaning up some of the residual like seal stuff from the old one, so that when we put the new one in, it's like a good fresh seal. We don't have all this extra residual shit in place. And so we have a bearing and race installer. Basically, you just want to set this up to be the same size as the bearing, so it seats across the whole face of it. And then you just tap it in. Just tap it in.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
And you can just kind of smack it and you'll hear a tone change once it seats. There it is. All right, gotta change up our sizing, slightly bigger so that we can seat the seal. This is what the fresh seal looks like. It's got a little bit of rubber on that inside, kind of helps seal it. It does kind of crush into place, so that's more or less how it works in terms of sealing. Same thing, you're just gonna want to tap it in. That is all she wrote. So now Melissa's going to go ahead and slide the axles back in. So when you're doing it, try not to drag it across that seal that's brand new to keep it from, you know, tearing it and stuff. So just, yeah, pick it up while you're sliding it in. Once you get to the back, you basically have to push or lift up the axle to get the splines lined up. There you go. You don't want to move your hand. Just like wiggling back and forth. There you go.
Okay.
And so now that you did that, you can slide that seat clip back on the axle.
Oh, okay.
And then you just have to pop it on that sucker. Try and push the axle in further. Yep, now it should seat.
Good?
Get it?
Yeah.
So once it's all the way in, just you can take your finger and slide the axle back out. There you go. So basically it keeps the seat clip from coming further out. Yeah, there you go. And that keeps the seat clip from coming back out.
Oh,
so then just repeat on the other side.
Now we're going to put the
new diff cover on. That's about it, and add fluid. To put the fresh gasket on, we have to kind of clean up the surface a little bit. So I'm gonna grab a razor blade and then just kind of clean that all up. And yeah, we'll put the new diff cover on. Just throwing a little bit of brake clean on the towel. Getting like a nice final wipe down, get any grease or oil off of this surface. So it's nice and clean for mounting the new seal.
This is our newly powder coated Scott Drake diff cover.
Looks
Got
heckin'
the
sweet.
pearl white to match the brakes.
And the rest of the accent color.
Yeah, the rest of the accent color
Surprise!
is white. For all you people who didn't know.
So now that we have a nice cleaned and prepped surface, we'll place this gasket. I got one bolt to kind of start the diff cover. Alright, and we'll grab the rest of the bolts. Just getting all these bolts started, and then we'll zip them all down and torque them.
Working them down.
It's not a heavy torque, I'm only doing like 25 foot-pound.
But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo.
Just a little bit of fresh Teflon tape.
So is that the drain plug?
Yep.
And what is this?
Fill plug. Oh shit!
What?
I forgot about those. So we kind of forgot to put these guys in before we put the diff cover on, so it came back off, but we're gonna throw these in real quick. And these are just basically like, or helps the diff eliminate some deflection, so it kind of keeps the rear end just a little bit more solid.
Run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Okay, that was a fun detour. So we'll catch up in a second.
And
They're all torqued again. These just go back in until snugged against the diff. Just snugged. So basically you apply 5 foot-pounds, so I'd say about like that.
you're supposed to go dun, dun, dun.
Oh, like my electronic one?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Throw these nuts on. And those just basically lock the little dampener bolt things in place. All right, we're good. So on limited slip differentials, when they have clutches, you have to run this limited slip additive, just about 4 ounces, with your 2 to 2.5 quarts of gear oil. All right, fill plug going back into place, and that is the rear end. There you have it. That's what we're gonna end it here for tonight, and then pick this back up to finish up the rest of the suspension, I guess tomorrow. So see you then. All right, people, we're back. So we're gonna go ahead and finish wrapping up the suspension now. But check this thing out. That's actually got some good lighting. That's gonna look sick under there, man. I'm excited to see that underneath the car. It's like overexposed because it's bright out too. But like the black hardware on it, that looks fucking good. So it's just me for the moment because Melissa's working a little bit late today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get cracking on this. We're gonna focus on the upper control arm first, then we'll do the lower control arms. And at that point, Melissa might be home and we'll be able to go ahead and start putting the rear end into the car and kind of bolting all that stuff back together. And thank God for power tools. Oh yeah. Look at how easy that was. If you guys aren't familiar, this bolt's usually torqued to like 240 foot-pounds, so solid. Might not have been torqued to that since it's probably been removed before, but whatever, we got it out. Thick old beefy UPR upper control arm going in. I extended it to match the length of the stock one. Probably end up having to shorten it to, you know, do things or lengthen it, I don't know. But we're gonna toss this in. It's literally just 3 bolts, so 2 on the bottom and then 1 goes from the top, as you guys saw me pull that one out before.
Got the whole squad down here tonight. Got Skylar and the kitten.
I'm sorry for everybody that had to see that.
Jealousy. Desire.
What?
Your technique.
It's called good leverage.
Yeah, no kidding.
You just don't want this thing to come loose on you.
No.
It's a big beefy boy. You want it to stay tight. Upper control arm, check. That was quite the interesting process. I don't think we showed you guys. I had to like wedge the bracket open a little bit so that I could get this bolt in, because I had tightened the main bolt that holds the arm into the bracket, so it kind of squeezed it, so these weren't lining up anymore. So that was cool. I had to loosen this so I could wedge this, and yeah, we got it though. Now on to the lower control arms. So now we have that upper control arm in place. Next off, we're gonna go ahead and install the lower control arms. And these are oriented a particular way. You want the side that sticks out to be facing inward on the axle, and that's at the where it meets the axle side. And then you want the grease fittings to be facing downward. So this is going to be the driver's side lower control arm, since it sticks out that way. The side that sticks out more faces the differential in the middle. Before I install them, I'm going to throw a little bit of grease on the outside edge of these bushings, and that just helps keep the noise from the poly bushings down when on the car. And just spread it around. All right, now the outsides of the bushings are all greased, we'll go ahead and throw this up in the car. That's that's the goal right now. We're not worried about getting these tight, just started, so that they're in place. Ow. That way, when we put the axle in, they're all ready to go and be bolted up. All right, so next up we've got the lower control arm relocation brackets. These guys go on here and basically just help relocate the lower control arms. Apologies in advance for the slightly bad camera angle. It's just what we're working with at this point. So this has to go over this on the outside. Problem is, it's obviously a little bit too thick. So I'm squeezing it. So you can slide it over. Okay? That's good. I started. Should have probably been a little bit better than it was, but that's where some people like some brands over others, is when they run into things like this. As you can see, it's a lot of fun, so we're going to do the other side and come back. Here's our control arm relocation brackets all mounted. The sway bar relocation brackets are bolted up as well. So with those, we are ready to get the axle in the car.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. You know, I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah.
It's always a good time, but we got the upper control arm mounted, and from there it only gets hopefully easier. We're a little concerned about the pan hard bar, clearing the diff cover, which I hope is not a concern. For the love of God. Please. But if it is, it is, and I'll have to like get a relocation thing here ASAP. But I mean, look at that rear end with the white cap, dude. That already looks sick in there. All right, let's get these springs in, and we'll start lifting and mount the control arms.
It fits.
So I was just, since it's an adjustable pan hard bar, I was just lengthening it to make this easy to get the bolt in, which is now in. So that now all we have to do is tighten all of the control arm brackets, control arms. The upper control arm's tight, but we'll have to adjust it, but we'll worry about that later. So just tighten all the control arms, and we'll mount the sway bar, and then we'll be able to start doing adjustments in the pan hard bar once we can get an idea of where the suspension is loaded on the car. So I think what we'll do is once this car's on the ground, we'll move it over there on the quick jack for this process. But with that, this is all mounted, dude. Yes. How exciting is that?
So exciting.
My eyes are like done. Let me see your hands. Did you get them dirty?
Yeah.
That's right, guys. She's earning it. Solid, dude. This thing's gonna handle. All right, guys, there you have it. We got the suspension installed. Like I said, there's a couple adjustments that have to be made, but we're gonna do most of that off camera because it's not that exciting to watch. So a little bit of nitty gritty stuff, but you saw the majority of what we had to do, I think.
I don't know.
Sorry, you probably saw bits and pieces. It's not exactly easy to record this stuff. And
it's because I'm learning too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pick up the camera when you're trying to show me something because I can't. It's hard to record and to learn at the same time.
But I also have to help in certain scenarios. Like she's only got so much muscle on her to like move the axle and stuff. So bit of a team effort, but we knocked it out on like a freaking weeknight in like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So not too bad. Nice little full rear suspension install as well as a rear end on a Monday night. So
You earned this.
there you have it, guys. That's gonna be a wrap for this video. As you saw, we got all the suspension in. Next time, we're gonna be wrapping up the brakes, a couple cosmetic things on the car, and then installing the new wheels you saw at the beginning of this video. So pretty much one more video after this in terms of mechanical stuff, and then we'll be able to take the car for its first drive, after of course bleeding the brakes, and then flushing the transmission to make sure that's properly topped off, because I've heard that the 6R80 is kind of...
Tomorrow we'll be able to
finicky.
start a lot earlier.
Yes,
We'll be able to start at
because
like...
you won't get home so late. Project Bombshell is coming to an end. Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah, I actually can't either. So we've made a ton of freaking progress. I don't know if it shows in the videos how quickly we're doing this, but
It's like every day we have to get so much done. Otherwise, we're not gonna make it. Like we have 10 days. 10 days to do. Oh, should I cross things off?
oh yeah, we have to cross things off. You can't end the video without crossing things off, dude.
Oh, axle install.
Yep.
That's huge.
Huge.
Dash wiring, you did that yesterday.
Huge.
Suspension.
Huge.
Brakes. Oh, look at that.
Coilovers.
Yeah.
Huge.
Back, yeah.
Drive shaft will be with the brakes.
That's it for now, but
That's it. Talk about a list crossing off, eh?
that was big.
I told you.
Like these stuff are a little too
Nearing the
like
end.
the wrap stuff like
That's
small.
this weekend.
Let's stretch some wipers like easy peasy. I'm gonna take this ceramic coating off because we're not doing it. We don't have time.
Oh, okay. You're right. Yeah, that's the big thing is I went to try and get the car titled today, and I guess we needed to have a notarized bill of sale, which I didn't have. I only had like regular bill of sale that I had signatures and stuff. So because the car is not 7 years old, the way that Maryland works is it's like 7 and older, or being 6 years old, we have to go off of the Google value unless we have a notarized bill of sale. The difference being like $1,300. I'm gonna get with Eric, the guy that sold us the car, get that all situated, and hopefully we will have that figured out. The car will be inspected Friday because we'll be driving like tomorrow, maybe Wednesday at the latest, but we're almost there. So there you have it, guys. Another video of Project Bombshell in the books. That's gonna do it for this one. So feel free to check out our Instagrams, which are tagged below. Hopefully we'll see you guys at Mustang Week coming up.
Merry Christmas! No, wait, Happy New Year.
Okay. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to stay tuned for more. Obviously, we have some wrap-up videos coming on Project Bombshell, and I think we'll kind of do like maybe a story and background on everything that had to go into this project that maybe wasn't captured in some of the progressional videos. All right, guys, peace out. We'll catch you in the next one.